Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Boss Mac of BackToGaming.com, back again with another motherboard unboxing and overview. This time around, we have the BIOSTAR Racing B250 GT5. I'm sorry, my tongue is not working. It is the BIOSTAR Racing B250 GT5. Alright, and here we are. First off, let's take a look at the packaging. We have the carbon fiber treatment in the motherboard. This is a full color printed motherboard, printed box. So the racing inspired design right there. We have the B250GT5 model name right here. B250GT5, 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 and all of that. Right, going right back. Oh, by the way, I haven't mentioned, this has a limited offer. So basically, an explanation. This is a viewer playing in the Asia server of World of Tanks. You will get some premium items. So this has been going on for quite a while right now. They have been offering premium items. It is indicated in this URL right here. I will link that in the written review in the description. Basically, it's like you get an exclusive tank, some gold, some other premium items, but it's time limited. So you cannot, you cannot just redeem it and just expect to see it again if you log in like 1 year later. Anyways, moving right along, at the back we have features right there. Gigabit LAN. This one uses i219V Ethernet from Intel. We have the Vivid LED DJ. We have PCIe M2 slots for dual BIOS. One cool thing about the dual BIOS for BIOSTAR, they're actually using a manual switch to toggle the BIOS in use. So I don't know if you can read that right there. So moving right along, we have the 5050 LED fun. So who comes up with this name? Seriously, BIOSTAR, come on. And we have the GT Touch. Basically, that's their touch interface for the motherboard onboard buttons. And we have the layout of the motherboard right here, as well as the I/O ports at the back. So that is it for the box, and I will move the motherboard for now so we can check out the content. And we open this up and everything is right there. So for our unboxing, we start off with the RGB header included package, and we have the 1, 2, and 3, and 4 SATA cables right there included in the package of the B250 GT5. We have the I/O shield, pretty plain stuff, nothing special. We have the installation disc right here, drivers and software. We have the manual. Always read your manual, boys. And we have a Vivid LED fan from BIOSTAR. They actually shipped this before with a separate box, but they are now like putting a compartment dedicated for it right there. So this is an RGB controlled fan. The lighting is on RGB, and you can hook it up to your RGB cable with this header right here. So this is controllable by the RGB software, which is the BIOSTAR Vivid LED DJ software, which is included in the Racing GT utility software. We'll talk about that more in the written review. So moving right along, let's get our motherboard back here in the spotlight. So there it is. So no more palm in your face action. So here we have it. I don't know if you guys can see that. And yeah, so if you've seen our review of the BIOSTAR C170 GT7 racing series from before, basically everything right here is the same. We have the racing inspired theme going on. We have the checkered flag motif printed on the PCB. We have carbon fiber in the heatsink, and the actual higher models will feature more design. So for this particular one, there's not much styling. So moving right along, let's check out the motherboard. So it's done in black, so very good touch right there. So most of the high-end models right now, they've been doing them in black, because I kept complaining before that I hate brown PCB. Not that it's bad, but they keep dodging, like, hey, we're using a dark PCB, and then you end up receiving a brown one. So with this one, it's actually done in black. So very nice evolution right there. And BIOSTAR's been stepping up their game lately. So it's cool that they retained the build quality on the newer model. So going back, we have the VRM area right here. The heatsink is only on the side, so this one is exposed. And we have the fan headers right here, as well as the RGB header right there. And then if you can see that, focus right there. So moving right along, we have 4 DIMM slots. So being this is a B250 motherboard, so the difference between, let me just explain this really fast, not too technical. The B250 has less features than C270 motherboards, basically just reduced features because of the details that I'll include the technical details in our chipset breakdown in the written review. Basically, this has less features. So the B250, the B designation is actually meant for business, but it has, it has lost that kind of treatment because of motherboard vendors actually using it for lighter models. Like there is support for Intel small business in this motherboard, but most, like as you can see right here, this is the racing series, which is definitely aimed for enthusiasts and gamers. So it has that feature, but it kind of get lost with how motherboard makers use them. So this may not be used for business, but it's definitely not that high end. So it's enough for users that just want a single GPU and stuff like that. So moving right back, there is no XMP support. So the motherboard natively supports DDR4 1866, 2133, and 2400 memory. So just pop in right there. If you have DDR4 XMP members, they will work fine, but they will not be working for the rated speed. This motherboard does have some level of manual control for your memory speeds. You can just tweak it to reach certain speeds, but it does require some know-how. So moving right along, we have the GT Touch area right there. Okay, so you can set profiles for the Echo button and the Sport button. Basically, the Sport button is the performance mode, and the Echo is like, yeah, typical power saving mode. And there is a reset and power button right there. So these aren't tactile. They're just like, yeah, as the name suggests, they are touch button. So I don't know how that works, but they are not tactile buttons. You won't feel anything when you press on them. So yeah, it's magic. It's supposed to be magic. Anyways, moving right along, we have SATA ports right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 SATA ports in total. We have the actual BIOS chip right here. So being dual BIOS, there is the switch that I've mentioned before. So when one of these break down, you can just switch it over, and this one should work. Yeah, if you just have a BIOS corruption, just switch it to the other side, and the other chip, the BIOS chip, will take over and should take care of your problem, because it will copy itself in this one. If you really end up with a broken chip, you can contact BIOSTAR and they will fix your motherboard if you're under RMA, but that's really rare. It doesn't really happen that often. Anyways, we have fan headers right here. We have the M2 slot, front panel headers right here. Another 5050 RGB header light right there. More I/O over here. We have legacy PCI slot. So there isn't a lot of people I know that use these, but if you got like older legacy applications, like older sound cards, older daughter cards that you may need to work with, yeah, you can pop them right there. So these has 2 X16 PCIe X16 slots and 2 X1 slots. So yeah, as I mentioned, there's some limitation in this motherboard. So as you can see, there is no AMD Crossfire or NVIDIA SLI logo in the motherboard or in the packaging, because this is dedicated only for single card use. Like you can use, you can pop into cards, but don't expect any kind of multi GPU like they will work together, because it doesn't do that. So yeah, you can pop in your card right here, like single 1080, single 1070, single RX 480, and it'll work fine. but yeah, no official support for multi GPU configuration. So moving right along, we have there's a chip right there, Super LAN surge protection. So this has been like one of BIOSTAR's heavily promoted feature. So basically, just filters like electrical surges. So just lightning happens to strike your antenna, ends up in your router, and then to your motherboard. For I don't know how, but yeah, it will supposedly protect you. So yeah, moving right along, it's connected to an Intel i219V 1 gigabit Ethernet port. So yeah, let's move on. Oh, by the way, we have the audio area right here. So typical PCB isolation with the lighting grid right there. Yeah, so we got LEDs right there. So yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, we'll show photos in the written review, but in this one, the PCH heatsink, this doesn't light up. Only this area lights up. Yeah, this end and this end. So as you can see, there's cable right there. So going back, this uses an ALC going back to the audio area. This using an ALC 892 audio solution. So really old audio solution. It's enough for some people. I'm not really too fond of older solution because I highly prefer an dedicated audio chip. BIOSTAR does have like some augmentation on this one, so they're using like better chips. I mean better capacitors to like deliver better audio experience, but overall the chip itself, it's not that great anymore. There's newer audio solutions, so if you're particular about audio, you can just get an X1 PCI daughter card audio solution right there and just pop it right there. And for everyone else, like if you just want a PC, you're starting out, this would do just fine. Yeah, and yeah, we move on to the rear I/O ports right there. We have legacy PS2, USB 2 right there, VGA, DVI, HDMI, and USB Type A and Type C. Wait up, I have to confirm if these are 3.1, and it doesn't. Let me confirm. Yes, it is USB 3.0. It is USB 3.0 Type A and Type C right there. And we have the Intel gigabit port right here, and your audio connectors. So I think that is it for the motherboard, and it looks great. It's not an revolution from the older racing motherboard. It still retains the same level of quality. Like, it's not as heavy as the more modern motherboards you would get from the big name brands, but BIOSTAR being who they are, this is a great balance. I think this one, I haven't checked the pricing yet. But yeah, this is supposedly under, like, definitely under the C270 more mainstream pricing. So I'll link those I'll link the pricing in the description and the written review. And yeah, that is it for the BIOSTAR B250GT5 motherboard. Really great looking board, but yeah, if you really want a more mainstream board, I suggest the lower end C270. Otherwise, if you just want a step up from the more generic B250 H270 motherboards, it's definitely something to consider. Anyways, yeah, this has been your boy Boss Mac. If you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to like the video, comment the video, and subscribe. Peace.